How's it? Welcome back to the channel. So having just wrapped up The Wild Way to Lucid Dreaming, what are my closing thoughts on it? Ciao, Catman, don't knock stuff over, please. If you've been following along as we've been working our way through this book the past few months, you probably know what I'm going to say. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a cool read. I also appreciated that it was a pretty quick read overall. As you can see, it's not too thick. It's not full of too difficult words or anything like that, which made my dyslexic brain happy there. Another thing I liked is I liked Slider's approach to writing, just his style. Like, it's a pretty humorous way of writing. It kind of made me think that if I was ever to write a book, I probably would write it in a similar tone and fashion. Hey, don't mess with that. But enough of that. What about the content? So the content of this book, I think, is dope. And it's kind of funny, but like, for his whole technique, to have wilds on command, it's kind of like a really small part of the book. Like, the beginning part is basically just kind of like his background story, kind of skippable, to be honest. Then in the middle, he has his actual technique, which can kind of be boiled down to one sentence. Now, I'm not about to go through here and try and find where that one sentence was. I know I covered it in my video series. And then the end of the book is kind of just more towards some of his theories and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to his theories and, some of his other techniques, such as like his whole line on your left side making a big difference, I kind of disagree with a good amount of that. And like his other one, thinking that if we could just force REM to happen more often, us humans in general could get away with just needing way less sleep and, therefore have a lot more time to be productive on other things. And so I kind of disagree with that as well, which I covered, a couple videos back, actually, and several other times throughout the book as he would bring it up. But my favorite part about this book is how he focuses a lot on hypnagogia. I mean, his whole technique for having wilds on commands is basically getting down into stage 1 of sleep hypnagogia, lucidly or consciously aware, and then essentially like forcing REM to happen. And this is where it kind of breaks down to just this one sentence, and I wish he kind of went into more detail on it, where he basically gets into the hypnagogic state, lucidly aware. When the pictures comes up, move it, buddy. He focuses on the pictures and they are like the liminal dream in a particular way, and it can essentially like pull him into the dream and essentially force REM to happen. And he just says, like, look at it a certain way, and he doesn't really get into more details about how he does that. Now, I'm not sure how you could really, how he could have explained it any better, but I would have liked a bit more detail on, how he exactly focuses on these liminal dream images. Because if you focus on it too much, you try to bring it into too much focus, it can basically cause you to wake up. And then if you don't focus on it enough, you get wrapped up in the narrative or whatever liminal scene you're witnessing and experiencing, and then you lose your lucidity and you basically fall asleep as you typically do. So it's a really fine line to walk. Also, I found it interesting that he seemed to be able to skip deep sleep, where typically when we go to sleep, we'll go from, at least initially at night, you go with these later stages of sleep, stage 1, 2 stuff, then you hit deep sleep, stage 3, 4, typically what they would call dreamless sleep, right? And then after that, you pop out into REM. But he seems to be able to, when he first lies down at night, to go straight from hypnagogia directly into REM consistently, which is, surprising. He should get himself into like a sleep lab so they can really look at his mind and kind of figure out what's going on. Because I do find that, unique. Because I play in hypnagogia myself all the time, and, I have a pretty hard time, or I basically can't, when I first go to sleep at night, unless I'm very sleep deprived or something else out of the ordinary, force REM to happen. Something else I thought was cool is that when he's talking about his whole hypnagogic approach and his technique, he's largely self-taught, as am I. And I thought it was cool that some of the techniques and things he brings up in here are basically some of the same techniques and approaches that I've just picked up and made videos on, on my channel, and just stumbled into myself. So I thought that was really cool too. So yeah, with that said, I would definitely recommend the book. It's a quick, easy read, humorous writing style. And yeah, that's it. So I guess with that said, until the next video, keep your lucid dreaming practice legit.